This video is sponsored by PetFlow. So let's cover why you should not have your dog's food automatically shipped to you from PetFlow. Having to drop everything and go do an unexpected chore? That's fun. My cruise leaves in 1 hour. I better feed Indy first. Oh wait, I'm out of dog food. I didn't want to take that cruise anyway. You love sitting in traffic. Traffic is the best. Carrying heavy bags of dog food, that gives you a great workout. Of course you don't want to try it out because saving $10 on your first 3 automatic shipments after entering code ZAC30 is not as good as paying full price after driving across town. Saving money? Get $10 off your first 3 auto ship orders when you set up automatic pet food delivery at PetFlow. Link and discount code in the description below. Click thumbs up for a new video. Meet Charlie the Golden Doodle. He is super cute, isn't he? Make sure you're subscribed to my channel. It's free, and if you've got a new dog, you'll be glad you did. Follow @ZachGeorge on Instagram too. It's a great way to keep up with the dog training revolution between videos. I do live Q&As and just generally interact with you and help you with your dogs. I'll have a link in the description. Get a copy of my book too. I'll have that link below. Joining me today is Charlie's mom, Brandy, and today I'm gonna show you a shortcut to get your training started off right, how to teach your puppy to stay, we'll go over some puppy biting tips, how to introduce your puppy to new dogs, and more. So we've got a lot to do. We have so many new subscribers lately. I want to make sure that all of you know how to do clicker training because clicker training is a really great way for you as the person to start refining your training ability and get really good at timing, which is a critical factor when you're training any dog. And it really just helps to sharpen up your overall communication with your dog. This is a clicker right here. You can get these at a lot of different places. If you want a clicker like this, join my Patreon community to learn how to get one. It's a good idea to have lots of clickers too, so you have them easily available. They're pretty inexpensive as well. All it does, it makes a clicking sound. We're gonna pair that clicking sound with an actual treat. It goes like this. Click, and I'm gonna give him a treat. Just a tiny piece of real meat. That's what I'm using today. This is called conditioning your dog to the clicker. I'm not asking Charlie to do anything at this particular moment. I'm just clicking, waiting a second, and giving him a very tiny piece of turkey about the size of a grain of rice. And in a moment, assuming he's been taught to sit for a treat, my guess is we're gonna see him pop into a sit the moment he hears that click. You wanna do this between 10 and 50 times. Just click and treat. Don't overcomplicate this. Your goal is just to get your dog to associate that clicking sound with getting an amazing treat. There it is. That's the automatic sit I was looking for. To me, that's usually evidence that a dog is making the connection that they're gonna get a treat, and there it is again. To be clear, the clicker is not a signaling device to tell your dog to do something. It actually happens as a desired behavior takes place. And then the moment he does something we like, we're gonna click and treat. It's worth noting that some dogs might get nervous of that loud sound, so you'll wanna kind of introduce it from a distance, but Charlie's doing really well right now. So now that he's clearly made the connection, how do you actually start to use the clicker in real training? You basically use the clicker anytime your dog does what you like. In that case, he came up from a sit. I like that. Watch this. Sit, yes. I also have a habit of pairing the word yes with it for times when I don't have my clicker and for later on in the training process. As your dog voluntarily offers things or as you encourage your dog to do things, you just simply click. The click means, good dog, I like what you just did. I'm gonna give you a reward. Pay attention to the timing here. Let's see if we can get Charlie to go into a lie down. Right? The moment he went all the way down, I clicked and made sure I gave him a reward. And I kind of like that he's offering his foot right there. See how he lifted his foot? I'm gonna go ahead and reward that. That's a great way to capture a behavior as they're offering it, even without you asking for it. That's a nice little trick. Yes, shake. There, I just said shake for the first time. I'm not too caught up with the actual language at first. I'm really just trying to get him to go through the actions, but as it becomes more reliable, shake. Good job. The idea here is that your dog starts to brainstorm. What can I do to make that clicker go off? Let me cover a couple of the really common objections to clicker training. Number one is, why can't I just say yes or good boy? And actually you can, it's just fine. But if you're a beginner, you'll probably find that having a button in your hand to say, I like that behavior is going to be a lot more beneficial. In other words, you're gonna be a lot quicker when you have a clicker. The second question is, can I make a sound with my mouth? Like, you can. However, this is an artificial sound and it's consistent every time. Just makes things a little bit easier in general. Is it required? No, but it'll probably help you out. Randy's been doing some training with Charlie. Let's see what Charlie's learned so far.
Charlie, sit, 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 shake, shake.
Nah, look at that, he's shaking.
Good boy. Touchdown. Come on, touchdown.
You know why I clicked there? You could see in his eyes, he was thinking about it.
Come on, touchdown.
Yeah,
Good
nice work.
boy.
Awesome, we got it. That's a clever trick. I will give that one a 10 out of 10 on originality.
Oh,
That's cool.
good.
One note I will give you, and everyone has this habit of repeating things, sit, sit, sit. Try to break that habit so it doesn't become a 3-syllable word. Typically what I'll do is something like sit, wait it out a little bit to see if they do it. If they don't do it, then I'll give a gentle, non-emotional, no, sit,
Okay.
no, sit. Perfect. It's a real hard habit to get into,
is.
but it will really clean up a lot of the communication.
That's a good tip.
It's important not to jumble too much of your early training with a bunch of words, but it's a fine line too because dogs can actually understand sentences and phrases. Most people think dogs only understand tones or one word at a time, but there's actually quite a bit of science on this that shows that dogs are capable of putting sentences together, provided you take the time to teach them.
Right.
Early training, you really want to keep it pretty basic and pretty simple.
Touchdown. Good
Touchdown, I love
boy.
it. Brandy, what general questions do you have? I mean, usually people with a dog this young have a lot of questions.
He just started, like, if you walk, he wants to bite the back of your pants or something to play. So I don't know if you have any tips for trying to break him of that habit.
Yeah, puppy biting and biting at ankles and clothes, really common. With dogs this young, this is how they interact with the world. If you've got clothes moving, they're going to try to bite them. So our goal isn't to eliminate it immediately, it's to reduce it slowly over the next few weeks.
Okay.
So the way to do that is to consistently redirect Charlie. So if you see it in his eyes that he's about to bite, you should have treats scattered throughout the house in Tupperware containers or something like that, where you can quickly get to him, lure him with the treat, put him into a sit, reward. Show him what you prefer he do. When he's biting, what would you prefer he do? You'd prefer that he sit and stay.
Right.
And so you gradually work up to a 5, 10 second stay and so forth.
He doesn't stay. We have been practicing stay. He does not stay at all.
I say we train it. With stay, we break it down into 3 major categories. We have stay for a period of time. We have stay while we walk away, and then finally, stay with distractions. Why don't we work on something like stay for a period of time, and then there are so many distractions out here, maybe we can get him to stay with a minor distraction at some point. Stay. I'm telling him stay because he's staying right now. In other words, I'm not saying stay while he's running around. I'm capturing him while he's in a stay position right now. Stay. Good. Nice work. It's a 1 second stay.
And you're using a hand signal.
That's right. And we should accompany a lot of our verbal requests with hand signals. Stay. A little bit longer that time. You see that? He's doing so well.
He doesn't do it like this at home.
That's why you practice. We're using clicker training. We're using a high value currency. These
Yeah.
are probably things that you're not doing at home, I'm guessing.
Correct.
So
Correct.
that might make the difference.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. He's doing really well with the dog walking by. Stay. Whoa. Over here. Yes. This is great.
That was perfect.
Look at that. And so right now, notice the timing. Stay. Good. I'm rapid firing the rewards. He's looking at the dog and he's staying. That's a big deal. These are the spontaneous moments you have to be prepared for. Stay. And so right there, that required me to burst into training mode. That's called a secondary training session, when you just have to burst into training mode when it's unplanned. That was a good example of one.
When should I try to start introducing him to other dogs?
Now.
Now? Okay.
And generally the ideal way that I recommend doing that is introducing him to dogs that are extremely likely to react well to him, because puppies don't have manners yet. They may go up and bite. And if you introduce him to the wrong dog, it could not go well. So one way to protect against that, look at things like doggy daycares. The staff know the dogs there. They know which dogs are likely to react well. That's a great way to introduce it. Friends' dogs, people usually know how their dog is gonna do with a rambunctious puppy.
Other issue that we're having is he has a booster seat in the car. He hates it. He would just throw a fit. He would get so mad.
Good question. So usually with things like securing him to the booster seat or just getting him comfortable with being in a car, you want to go real slow and you don't want to wait until it's time to take a ride. It's important to set up training sessions. So for example, putting him in the booster seat when you have nothing else to do, click, treat, or good dog, give him a treat.
That's a great idea. I never even thought about that.
Breaking things down into smaller steps isn't really intuitive to us when we're training dogs, but if you can get that, it's like if you're having trouble with anything, if you just ask yourself, how can I make this as low stress and easy as possible for him just to get traction, and then you gradually make it more and more challenging.
That's a good idea. I think I need to work with him and give him some rewards for it.
What other questions do you have?
When do you start to like withhold some of the treats and know that the behavior is going to stick without the treats?
Well, I like it. You're on top of things here. here. Yeah, you might have noticed I'm like rewarding just about every single time that he's doing something that I like. In the beginning, as behaviors are kind of shaky and unreliable, it's really important to reward close to 100% of the time. But as behaviors become more reliable, you reward a little bit less. However, it's not quite that simple because you also want to up your rate of reinforcement periodically just to let them know, look, sometimes you get the jackpot. Think about slot machines. One of the reasons slot machines are so addictive is because you never know when you're going to win. And so during early training, really the first year of training, you want to let them get those jackpots from time to time.
Would you say for the next week, if I practice with this, I reward 100% of the time?
If this was my dog and I was working with him from day to day, I would quickly probably bring it down to 75%. On sit, for example, he's so reliable, but I want to keep him reliable. So I don't want to get too lean on the rewards. Charlie and his mom, Brandy, are doing a great job. Give them a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel and follow @ZachGeorge on Instagram to keep up with the dog training revolution between videos too. We do lots of live Q&As and general interaction with you. Our Instagram community is totally hot. It is the place to be. Get $10 off your first 3 auto ship orders when you set up automatic pet food delivery at PetFlow. Link and discount code in the description below. We'll see you guys in the next video. Good job, buddy. Mwah.